Welcome to Room for All, the podcast where we dive deep into the world of inclusive employment and explore the power of creating opportunities for people with disabilities. I'm Andrea Comastri, CEO and co-founder of Hotel Etico, Australia's first not-for-profit social enterprise hotel.
And I am Saraya O'Connell, General Manager of Hotel Etico. Together, we'll be your hosts as we talk about the importance of breaking down barriers in the workplace. We will have a particular focus on hospitality and other customer-facing roles, and how businesses can lead the charge toward inclusion.
At Hotel Etico, we believe that everyone deserves the fair chance to succeed. And we've made it our mission to not only provide jobs, but to build meaningful careers for people with disabilities. On this podcast, we will be sharing success stories, best practice, and inspiring conversations with industry leaders from the hospitality sector, the disability sector, other social enterprises, philanthropy, and of course, our own trainees, graduates, and staff.
Whether you're a business owner, an advocate for inclusion, or someone curious about the future of work, this podcast is for you.
So come and join us at Hotel Etico, or as we call it, the Hotel California for the Heart, a place where once you've checked in, your heart will never leave.
So let's get started and open the doors for all.
Shaheen, welcome to Room for All, the live podcast experience today at the Social Enterprise Festival, the 2025 Social Enterprise Festival at UTS, organized by SECNA. You are our first guest today.
Welcome, welcome.
Thank you. I'm excited.
Very good. So Shaheen, first thing to do is to just briefly introduce yourself and your organization, and in a sentence or two, tell us everything about yourself.
Everything about myself in a couple of sentences.
Yeah, in 2 sentences.
Easy.
That's totally easy. Don't we do that all the time? It's like an elevator pitch.
Okay. So I am a learning designer and strategist and the founder of Taaleem Consulting. Taaleem Consulting is a social enterprise that looks at elevating the voices of marginalized people, and we do that through creating accessible and equitable learning programs. So I mostly work with educators, training organizations, universities, corporates, to make sure that the learning that we design follows inclusive practices. So it works for everybody and not just a certain cohort of people.
Fantastic.
You had me at inclusion.
We like the word inclusion.
Yeah, we love the word inclusion. I'm very big on that, and especially in education, I think that it needs to happen.
I'm completely with you. I think education is kind of that foundation and a level that levels the playing field for everybody. And so if we can get inclusion at education right, and this is one of the reasons why I love working with universities, is because that's the space where if we get that right, it just makes things
Get them
easier.
early, right?
Well,
we talk about early intervention and in everything we do.
Absolutely. So. We're in a pretty amazing university right now. So.
Oh yeah, it's state of the art.
State of the art.
How long has Taaleem been operating for?
A beautiful 15 months.
Woohoo!
Right, very
Early
new.
stages. How are you finding it?
I'm absolutely loving it. So I've been doing my work inside organizations for about 13 years now, and so I really, really enjoy it. But I think about a year or so ago, I decided that if I wanted to have the level of impact I wanted, I needed to get outside of working in single organizations. And so went out with my consulting firm, and
And now you can work with everyone.
And now I can have greater impact because I'm working with more people.
Amazing.
Fantastic. So I'm going to jump on the question that you were meant to ask, because otherwise...
The question theft happens.
I know, it happens a lot with us, honestly.
Yes.
I steal his stuff all the time.
But so, Shaheen, what inspired you to personally get involved in what you do? What's the why?
There's a few different whys that I think have laddered up over time. I've always been interested and passionate about social equity. So I come from a middle-class Indian family where I grew up, moved to Australia 16, 18 years ago, kind of still early in my identity, but always knew that education was a really important piece of it. So my mom's a teacher, dad's an engineer, and I feel like I am where I am because we had the support and we had great education growing up. And that's something that I'm passionate about, therefore being important for everybody to cultivate. So I've always been quite passionate about social equity. about 3 years ago, I started working with a disability organization, Higher Up.
Oh, yeah. We
Yeah.
know them very well.
We know them
Of course
very,
you
very
do.
well.
Absolutely.
Big fans of Higher Up.
And so I was leading their L&D function and
Oh, fantastic.
just working with people with disability and understanding kind of just how inaccessible things are. And that's because we've designed them wrong.
Yes.
And so what can I do to make sure it then becomes available, accessible, equitable to everybody? And so I think those kind of two things coming together where I wanted to make a difference and then seeing how inaccessible systems just allow people to not reach their full potential, making friends in the community, understanding how they work, and the systemic barriers can just when like, we need to solve this, we need to do something about
I am
it.
getting teary because you're like speaking all my language. Like
Yeah,
we are fighting for systemic change at every turn. And it's funny, the red tape that we endure, it's been put in for years and years and years, all the red tape that we have to go through and we have to fight
in terms
with.
of approach, in terms of inclusion approach, like we talk at Hotel Etico a lot about, we don't want to just work on the supply side of skills, but we want to work also on the demand side. So we work on training our own people, our own trainees, people with disability, young people with disability, and skill them up in many ways, not just hospitality, but also independent living skills. But then we also operate at the demand side, and we work with hotels around the country to train them on how to work and how to work better, be more capable of working with people with disabilities.
Yeah.
So
Break
that
down that barrier.
inclusion
I
is
love
correct.
that.
Yeah,
Yes.
I
it's
love
great.
that.
So we're speaking the exact language as
Yes.
you. I'm very excited. You are our first guest.
That's right. Expect a call from us after this.
After this, absolutely. I'm going to steal Andrea's
Yes.
question now because I mean
Perfect.
we're just going for it now. Can you share a story that has really impacted? I know there's probably a lot of stories, but like one story that you like just inspires you and shows the impact that you create. Hard to
So-
choose.
Yes, I was thinking about something that I'm very passionate about is co-designing stuff with the people that we're working with. And so about the first 6 months of this year, I worked on a big project with another social enterprise down in Melbourne and was working with
Can you name the social enterprise?
Lot Agency.
Okay.
That's just a little shout out.
Yes.
They do amazing work down in Melbourne. And so I was working with them to work with a water facility provider in Sydney. And they're looking to kick off a new project. And we're very keen on co-designing that with the different multilingual, multicultural groups in Sydney because we know the cultural diversity is quite high. And so we did about 8 different multilingual cultural communities that we spoke with, heard their thoughts and did pure listening sessions and then co-designed what that would look like for the organization. And just the power, I think the learning for me in being in a room with the different cultures and understanding how to work with them, kind of throwing out my agenda and just having a conversation, but being present and listening to them, but then co-designing it. And the organization was great at saying, we will listen to what they say. And they did that. And I think that's where the power is because I don't have the lived experience of a lot of different things. Nobody else has the full lived experience. And so how can we co-design it for the people that we are working with? Nothing about us without
fantastic.
us.
Yeah.
And so that was a huge project. But the impact that had is now, for the next 6 years of strategy is going to be embedded from people who have a say. And often these are people who don't have a say.
Yes. And so tell us, why is trauma-informed practice essential for what you do?
I'll start at the broader level. I think just the world in general currently has a low-level trauma running through it. We are now seeing images on our phones every day that we should not be seeing as human beings. We are carrying the weight of vicarious trauma from around the world. We are thinking about existential crises around climate change. And so there's like this low-level trauma that everybody feels. So even if I'm running a corporate training program, I'm still conscious that there are people there who are, the cost of living, climate change, like all of these things playing on their mind. And so for me, that's essential at a base level. But then obviously the work that I do is with people who've not been heard, who potentially have had actual
Deep trauma,
as part of their lives. And we know trauma sits in bodies. And there's, I'm going to get nerdy on you, but for the most part, people work in that window of tolerance, what we call, but then it might be somebody's one word, one sentence that triggers them. And so I think it's deeply important for us, especially in this sector, when we're working with people who are vulnerable and are carrying that grief and trauma with them, to know how to manage that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And how best to make sure that it doesn't even get to a point of being triggered.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah, I agree. I think we probably have multiple generations of people that are traumatized at some level, commonly, but then obviously there's those that have experienced trauma more specifically in their lives, in their childhood, in whatever experience they've gone through, which,
we are starting to run out of time, so we've got about a few minutes left. So I want to ask you that what does your organisation look like 2025 and beyond?
We're already halfway through 2025, so beyond.
Let's go beyond.
I want to make inclusion practical. I think often we talk about equity and inclusion and accessibility in kind of these abstract terms. And so what I'm starting to do is develop a tool that makes inclusion accessible and practical. And everything about Taaleem for the next year or so is getting that tool out into the hands of people so we can, compare what we are doing to make sure whether it's inclusive and equitable or not.
Unbelievable. And you're still new, 15 months. I bet it's been a...
And so, look forward. If you could have a magic wand, what could you make Taaleem and the work that you do look like?
I think I just want to have more impact. And that's always the biggest question on my mind, is how can I have more impact? How can I reach more people? How can I reach a platform that's higher than where I am, not for me or Taaleem, but for the cause, to be able to talk about these things? And so that's really deeply important.
Well, hopefully the Social Enterprise Festival and Room for All will
share that message.
play a little bit of a part in spreading that message.
Being a social enterprise is that everybody's here for a reason. And I think the more that we collaborate with each other to get that message across, that's what I love so much about the Social Enterprise Festival.
So do I.
It's unbelievable. I love this festival.
So before we go on to the final question, just a little bit of a cheeky one, which let's see what happens. Like, if your enterprise was a dish on a menu, what would that be and why?
I don't know if I can think about a dish, but I would call it a buffet.
Nice.
You can walk in and choose what you want. We're all on a different stage in our journey on inclusion. And so I want Taaleem and my work to be really open to say, you can walk in and choose what you like. And choice is a big part of inclusion.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So, it's, it's small dishes made for you that you can choose.
Tapas.
Tapas. I love tapas. There you go.
Very good answer.
You can tell we're foodies. We like food. That's one of our questions.
So just to close, what's one thing that we haven't spoken about that you would like the audience to hear? And then finally, where can people learn more about you or get involved with you?
I guess the only thing that that's also part of Taaleem's work, which is not kind of embedded in what I do, but is part of my philosophy, is how do we get people, and this is how inclusivity works, is we don't focus purely on the black and the white. How can we have more nuance? How can we have conversations where I'm able to hold...
I hate it. I mean, I love to wear it sometimes because it matches, but otherwise I hate black and white. We live in the grey.
Our brand.
We're all, okay. But grey. Like there is no black
okay.
And the nuance of being able to hold two ideas at the same time and being open to listening to other ideas. And yes, it's a lived experience I've not had, but what you've had is true, and so let me have a conversation with you. I think if we can start to build these conversations and come out of our silos and bubbles, that just goes so far.
And unfortunately, today's world is so polarized. That's right. And yeah, it will take a little bit to us. That's why we need someone like you, which is fantastic. And so where do people find out about you? Give, links or contact details?
So I'm on LinkedIn. I'm very active on LinkedIn.
Very good.
They're my people. So yes, LinkedIn is probably the best place to find me. And I also have talimconsulting.com.
Fantastic.
As my website for more, if you want to get in touch. I'm always open to coffees and chats.
Awesome.
Especially with lovely social enterprise humans.
And we will put all this in the show notes, obviously, so we'll spread the message out.
There, we'll spread it.
So,
and yes, we'll be calling you after this.
We normally talk for about 50 minutes to an hour in our podcast, but obviously today is a bit of a different format, so we'll wrap it up here. We really, really appreciate it. It was a great start,
That was an amazing start. Hard one to follow.
I had a lot of fun. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Shaheen, and I hope you have a great day at the festival today. So the day just started. So
yes. Welcome to Room for All.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.